podcast. I am your host, Cosmic Waters. May my words inspire you and remind you to remain true to you as you walk authentically in your truth, dripping self-love and unapologetically choosing you. Hello, naked truthers. Welcome back. So in this episode, I'm going to be discussing the card reveals to the Choose a Pile I posted on my Facebook page. Now, if you would like to see exactly what these cards and crystals look like, feel free to do so. You can go to my IG, Taste My Naked Truths, and the card reveals will also be there. But all the information pertaining to the cards you're listening to via my podcast. So let's dive into it. The first pile is associated with Blue Aragonite. All these crystals are blue. The second pile is associated with Celestite. And the third pile is associated with Larimar, or as they would say in the Dominican Republic, Larimar. So, if you want to take a moment to pause and see which one of those stood out to you, the Blue Aragonite, the Celestite, or the Larimar, or you can do it by the numbers and choose pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. And if you still need some assistance, then feel free, like I said, to go to Taste My Naked Truths on my IG, and you will be able to see exactly what these cards and crystals look like, and that may help you in choosing. Now, do not overthink this process. Do not stress yourself out. Do not give yourself anxiety. Let it flow naturally to you. Go with the first crystal or the first number that you hear in your mind. And if more than one pops up, that is okay. Listen to both of them. Hell, if you want to listen to all three, go for it. Okay? So pile 1, which was the Blue Aragonite. If you chose this pile, this message is for you. Before I get into the message, let's talk more about the crystal's benefit. So, Blue Aragonite, it has a comforting, optimistic, and joyful vibration, right? It is connected and attuned to your third eye, your throat, and heart chakras. It's connected to the air and water element, and it vibrates to the number 9. Now, number 9, that's like high vibration energy, right? Also deals with completing the cycle, right? Okay. And it is associated with Capricorn. Now, don't get caught up on, oh my God, Capricorn, I don't like Capricorns, this, that, and the third. Okay, don't get caught up on that part, please. That does not mean that you have to be a Capricorn to receive this message. And I'm going to need you to drop any kind of ill feelings that you may have towards Capricorn and the energy of Capricorn so that you can receive this message. I know some people get in their feelings when it comes to this astrology shit and certain zodiac signs. So stop right now, take a breather, and drop that bullshit and be able to attune to what I'm saying, okay? Now, it helps cultivate patience, intuition, and insight to your emotions, and it helps you also be able to see that within your closest relationships, okay? It helps increase your confidence and your self-worth. It helps you deal with anger, and it helps you ease stress. It enhances your ability to communicate. So if you struggle with like public speaking, writer's block, or expressing your emotions verbally, this is a crystal you might want to look into. It helps you cultivate compassion. It aids in emotional healing. It helps to soothe your nervous system. It also helps with respiratory illnesses. And it is beneficial for those who may struggle with insomnia or chronic tiredness. So those are some of the benefits of this crystal. Again, it is called Blue Aragonite. I will also write in the description of the podcast each of these names so you know how to spell them, and do further research if you so choose to do so. Okay? I actually encourage that you do, so you can learn more about the crystal and how it may resonate with you and how it helps you. Because of course I did not dive into every single little detail of the benefits or healing properties or metaphysical properties of this beautiful ass crystal. Please take a moment to look at it. It is so pretty. It is so blue, and it reminds me of those turquoise ocean waters and the island. Oh my god. Okay, now let's get into this card. So the card for this was laziness. Now pause. The deck that I am using is made by HealNReveal, which you can also find on Facebook, and it is called the Higher Perspective Oracle. Now he does sell these cards, so if you are interested in purchasing them, you may hit him up or contact me through either IG or chasemynakedtruths@gmail.com, and I will connect you directly with him. Now, on to the first part. So the card for this was laziness. It is the Emperor card in traditional tarot, and so it has the number 4 on it as well. Okay, so it has the word laziness and it has the word focus. However, it came up in the reverse position, and laziness is your word. So this is going to go in several different directions, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I meant to say that in the beginning. This is a collective reading, so everything that I do say may not resonate with you. Do not force it to. It is okay if it doesn't. Everything may not be for you. This whole reading may not resonate with you. It's quite alright. Let it go. Okay? Now, like I was saying, this may go in several different directions. What comes to mind right off the bat is spiritual laziness, right? And I'm also hearing spiritual hygiene. So what have you been denying yourself of? What have you basically not been paying attention to or not taking care of? Spiritual hygiene. Have you been allowing yourself that necessary self-care, that time of rest, that time to meditate, that time of stillness, to go within, to reflect, to tend to your own emotions, to basically tend to your own soil and water and nourish yourself and your garden so that you may bloom? What does your spiritual hygiene look like? What does it smell like? Are you out here bleeding on other people from your traumas or your wounds or shit that you haven't healed yet? Are you out here projecting on folks? Are you out here allowing people to project and vomit on you? Or is your auras and your energetic fields where they need to be? How is your protection? How is your mindset? All these things go with spiritual hygiene. So when you think about that, where do you stand? Have you been lazy when it comes to taking your spiritual baths or diving into those spiritual practices, whatever they may be for you, right? Because spirituality is not just supposed to be some kind of trend or something you do here and there. It's supposed to be a lifestyle. It's supposed to be something that you use to help you grow, not something that you just do because, oh, well, it's trending right now, so let me hop on this bandwagon, right? And I'm not trying to sit here and paint how your spirituality or your journey is supposed to be, right? I don't want you to get caught up on that. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to do this for your benefit and you're committed to your growth and healing and change and your elevation, then make it into a lifestyle. and not just something that you want to do because you see everybody else doing it. Okay? So, what does your spiritual hygiene look like? And is it on point? Have you been slacking when it comes to, maybe journaling or taking your herbal essences, drinking your herbal teas, when it comes to eating right, when it comes to doing meditation or doing yoga or doing simple breathing exercises, when it comes to being outside in nature and grounding, when it comes to basically, like I said, tapping in and connecting with you, right? If you don't do anything else that I mentioned, at least tap in and connect with you. Your voice should be the loudest voice that you hear within your head. But you also want to keep in mind that the voice that you hear within your head is indeed your voice, but it's also not attacking you or putting you into the mode of self-sabotage or anything of that sort. Spiritual hygiene is very fucking important, okay? And so, if you've been lazy when it comes to that, I'm gonna need y'all to get it together and do what needs to be done to take care of you first. Stop putting other people's needs in front of your own, and make sure that you are not diving so deep into helping other people, guiding other people, trying to, help people heal or help them elevate, whatever word you want to use, right? That you are basically not focusing on the areas of your life where you need to be healing or where you need to be dealing with your shadow work or your inner child or whatever the case may be. And so what I'm saying is, don't be in a place of blindness to where it's like, well, I gotta help everybody else first. No, you need to sit the fuck down and help you first before you can help everybody else. Because then you're going to use all that precious energy of yours to do everything for everyone else and help them deal with their emotions and help them sort through their shit. And then when it comes to you, you have no energy left for you. And what does that mean? That means that your traumas and your baggage and the shit that you need to work on within is now not receiving 100% of you. It is now not receiving your energy. It is now not receiving your time or your attention or your love or your compassion. You haven't even made time for your damn self. And so what does that lead to? That leads to you projecting eventually. That leads to you bleeding on people. And how the fuck can you help somebody else if you can't help your damn self? So make sure that you are pouring into you, that your cup stays full, that you are honoring and catering to your needs, your wants, your desires, that you are allowing yourself not only to rest, not only to rejuvenate, but you are allowing yourself to tend to your own needs because you come first. And be mindful that you are not out here surrounding yourself and other people's shit because your own shit is too heavy to deal with. And so it gives you this sense of satisfaction that you help somebody else and you kind of push your own shit down into the bottom and you suppress it and you don't pay it any attention because it's easier to help somebody else than it is to dive deep into your own shit, okay? Pull your motherfucking skeletons out the closet just like you help other people pull out theirs, okay? So this is not a sense of avoidance, okay? You want to put your shit on a chopping block and face it. Face your fears. Face your demons and embrace them. They are not the enemy, okay? Embrace them. You are whole, but you need to honor your wholeness and understand there are parts of you that may need some attention. They may need the light shown on them so that your shadows are no longer the enemy and you're all one. You understand those parts of you that may need some work and you take the time to work on them to where they are no longer now bleeding on you or anyone else, and you make them work for you, right? And so you're no longer dealing with the inner me as an enemy, okay? So take that time. It's really important. Now, another way that I see this card when I think of the Emperor being upside down is that some of you may feel like a sense of powerlessness, like you have lost control over your life, like a certain situation that you may be in, you feel like you don't have any control over it, and you're trying to grasp and trying to regain control, but things are kind of like chaotic and all over the place, and you're just like, what the fuck, right? It's kind of like you don't feel like you have no authority anymore, and you feel like the power is slipping away from you, and everything is just kind of going down, fucking hill, right? And it's like a lack of discipline in a sense too. So if you are feeling this way, know that nothing or no one is more powerful than you are, okay? At times it may seem like it, but understand that you are powerful as fuck. And the only way that something or someone has more power over you is when you choose to give it that power. So be mindful of what and who you are giving your power and energy to, and understand at any moment that you could shut that shit down. The choice is yours. The power lies within your hands, okay? And if you're feeling like things are just not working out in your favor, things is just like your life is turned upside down, if you feel like you've kind of lost sight of things, or if you kind of lost your way, okay, this is a message to pick yourself back up, readjust your crown, and sit back in your throne, sit back in your seat. You may have allowed something or someone to come and knock you off your throne, okay? This is me extending my hands to you, helping you back up, okay? I'm helping you adjust your crown and reclaim your throne, all right? And like I said, be mindful of who and what you're giving your power to, including your thoughts, and shift the focus back to self, right? What have you been focusing on that has got you in a place of turmoil or uneasiness or anxiety or worry or fear? What have you been focusing on that has taken you from your place of inner peace, or that has knocked you off your throne? Make sure that you are shifting your focus back to self. And this is also dealing with if you are in a relationship, situationship, whatever the case may be, and you've been focusing so heavily on that situation, or you've been putting in so much energy into that person, and you're just fucking stressed. Let that shit go and shift your focus back to you. Redirect that energy, okay? What is it that you truly need to be focusing on in this moment? Are your priorities in order? Are your passions in alignment with you? Or should I say, are you in alignment with your passions? Or are you choosing to do something else that doesn't even bring you fulfillment or a sense of joy at all? Keep that in mind. Ask yourself that question. Okay. What are you breathing life into? Hell, are you breathing life into yourself? Are you breathing life into that business that you want to start, or that you may have started, but part of you is just kind of doubting it now, questioning it? Are you breathing life into it? Do you breathe life into you on a daily basis? I just heard in my mind father figure. So the emperor does deal with, a father figure. So if some of you may be going through something with somebody that, may be your father, that you have seen as a father figure, that you look up to as a father, I'm feeling some kind of strained energy there. Or some of you may be connecting back with a father figure to rekindle a connection that may have been pushed to the side, or maybe never really had the chance to develop. I would say keep an open mind, have discernment, and have awareness, and don't allow for your emotions to rule over you, okay? In these situations, Now, whether or not you give this person a second chance, because I do feel like someone may be coming in asking for a second chance as a father figure, that is on you. I'm not telling you what to do, but I am saying make sure the decisions that you make are not from a place of pure emotion, because when you react out of a place of pure emotion, most of the time you regret the decision that was made. So take some time to truly think about it and honor what you feel, but don't make that decision based out of anger or hatred or fear or sadness or that pain that you may have been harboring around in regards to this person. Okay? Now, I also am hearing something about a lawsuit going on or some type of court situation. I'm even hearing child support, which goes back into that father energy. So if some of you are not dealing with the father energy, like your particular father, then you could be dealing with the father of your child issues. And I feel like, I heard the words pain in the ass. So they may be getting on your motherfucking nerves. You may be considering putting this person on child support, or you feel like they haven't been paying their child support and that's pissing you off, or you feel like they haven't really been spending enough time with the children, or even just doing their duty as being a father, or just showing up as a father, right? You know, everybody has their idea of what a father should be, but at the end of the day, what really matters is that their presence is there. And for some of you, your children don't even get to experience the presence of their father. And for a lot of y'all, it bothers you deep inside, because you wanted to have that family. You wanted to provide your child with a home of having not only a mother but a father, to both energies in that place. And I feel like for some of you, the switch up was fucking real, you know. So, as I said, all of this is not going to resonate with you, but I'm getting hit with a bunch of different avenues of the way in which this card can go. So back to like the court case and the lawsuit, because I don't think I touched in on that. I'm hearing to read the fine print. It made me think of like the terms and conditions and how we just fucking kind of check the little box and like, yeah, I read that shit. When in reality, we really didn't read it, right? So before you sign any contracts, any paperwork, before you hire another lawyer, whatever the case may be, make sure you have done your due diligence and crossing your I's, see, that right there, dotting your I's and crossing your T's, as they would say, so that you don't get okie doked or hoodwinked. You know, you don't get you're not signing your name to some shit that you really didn't mean to sign up for, and then at the end of the day, it comes back to bite you in the ass. It's like that snake in the grass that's been plotting, and you see it, but it's like you ain't really pay that much attention to it, and boom, it bit you, and now you got to deal with the consequences of it. Okay, so also when it comes to like court cases and lawsuits, make sure that I just like keep hearing, make sure your shit is in order. Make sure you have everything, all the paperwork that you need. Make sure you are organized. Make sure that you are presenting your case in an organized way, right? So if you're gonna take somebody to court, then understand that you're just not going there like, yeah, okay, so I want to sue this person because of this. Make sure your shit is in order. That is also what the Emperor deals with, order. So make sure your shit is in order, right? And this can go not only just with court cases. So let's walk away from that for a little bit, and let's dive into our lives. So if you've been dealing with chaos in your life, it's time to get your shit in order. And I don't see chaos as necessarily a bad thing, right? Because when chaos into your life, it comes and it shakes shit up and it makes you get shit in order. So I definitely don't see it as a bad thing. It can be detrimental if you choose to continuously play in chaos and your life is currently in a cycle because you see the chaos, but instead of you acknowledging and having the awareness that you are keeping yourself in this cycle of chaos, you decide to remain on the hamster wheel in the chaos, and now it's detrimental to your life. So, but like I said, I don't necessarily see it as a quote-unquote bad thing. It's kind of how you choose to view it, right? Perspective is key. Now, like I was saying, if there are certain areas in your life that you know need some motherfucking order, do what needs to be done. And that goes back to laziness. So this can even get into cleaning and organizing, right? Putting shit in order in your office, in your home, in your room, in your kitchen, in your household. Making sure things are organized and put into place, and that whatever needs to be cleaned and decluttered is done. So, okay. I heard keeping your thoughts in check. Now, that may be a little bit difficult to do, but I get it. And so basically, don't allow your thoughts to rule over you. Don't allow your thoughts to run amok. Understand that you can have a million thoughts running through your mind all day, but at the end of the day, you are the observer, and you choose which thoughts you want to entertain, and you choose which thoughts you want to feed your emotions into. And the more emotion that you feed into those thoughts, the more power and energy that you give them. So be mindful of your thoughts. What are you thinking? Which thoughts are you choosing to entertain? Which thoughts are you feeding your energy and emotion into? And are they fucking up your life? Your thoughts are powerful as fuck, but you are more powerful than your thoughts. Understand that and know that, okay? So like I said, pick yourself up, adjust your crown, sit back on your throne, and stand in your power, and do not allow anything or anyone to come and knock you back off your throne. All right? Sometimes shit happens, and we may hit rock bottom, and that's okay. But rock bottom is not the end. Rock bottom is a new beginning. Every ending is a new beginning. Understand that. So even if you are feeling like you are at a low place in your life, understand that you won't be here forever. And understand that you may be at this low place in your life because your life needed to be reconstructed, right? There was things that needed to go. There was things that needed to fall apart. There was things that no longer served you that you needed to get rid of. And let's just say you was holding on too tightly, and so things had to crumble in order to slip through your fingers, in order to slip through the cracks, in order for you to be able to see that you needed to rebuild, in order for you to be able to see that you needed to let that person go, or let go of this situation, or let go of these thoughts, these patterns, these beliefs, these social constructs and programming that were no longer serving you. And so it may seem like shit hit the fan, and it may seem like all the cookies crumbled, and it may seem like somebody pissed on your cornflakes, but it's okay. Understand and embrace your rock bottom, and know that you can and you will rebuild yourself back up. Rock bottom is not the end. Okay, I feel like somebody really needed to hear that. Let me see if I get anything else from this card. Okay, so the number 4 stands out, and basically when I think about the number 4, I always think about a box, or like a square, boxing yourself in, right? So be mindful that this box, you are not allowing others to place you in a box, but you are also not allowing yourself to place you in a box. So this is going to go into self-imposed limitations and beliefs that you have about yourself. You want to unpack that box. What limitations are you setting for yourself? Sometimes we have these self-limiting beliefs that we don't even realize that are there. We don't. But we set them every day, and they limit us on a daily basis. So ask yourself, what limiting beliefs do you have? What is interfering with your life and you? And a lot of the limiting beliefs deal with our power, how powerful we are, how magical we are, right? Our money, the abundance, the prosperity, the expansion, success. We limit ourselves in these areas, even love. And I just want you to tap in and see where you have been limiting yourself and how these beliefs no longer serve you and how they hold you the fuck back and how you give so much power to fear and it stops you from truly living. So take a moment and unpack that box. And then when you unpack that box, burn that shit. A lot of people like to say, think outside the box. Fuck the box. Let there be no box at all. Because the only limitation that you have is your mind, your mindset, your thoughts. People say the sky is the limit. No, the motherfucking sky is not the limit at all. Your mindset is the limit, okay? Because you can go beyond the sky if you choose to do so. You could reach for the stars, the sun, the moon. But you got to have the courage to do so. And you got to have the belief in you. And know that there is so much more out there waiting for you to take the first step, waiting for you to have that belief and trust and courage in yourself, waiting for you to step in your power and stand up for yourself. But it's up to you to make that choice. It's up to you to reach. It's up to you to take that leap of faith. It's up to you to believe. So fuck the box. Get yourself out of that box. Burn that motherfucker down and enjoy burning it. And fuck people who try to put you in those boxes. There's going to be a lot of people who try to put you in a box. There's going to be a lot of people that try to do that. As Sensei says, fuck them people. Okay, don't let anybody put you in that box at all. Okay, let people keep their boxes. You don't have to be put in them. And if they do put you in a box, fuck it. You know, you don't have to adhere to their box. You don't have to live up to their expectations, their obligations, their opinions, their thoughts of you. Let them keep that shit. You keep doing you. People gonna think what they want to think regardless. They gonna say what they want to say regardless. They gonna feel about you how they feel about you regardless. Okay? And you cannot change that. So don't give your energy into trying to change that. Don't give your energy into trying to explain yourself. You don't owe anybody a motherfucking explanation at all. Fuck that shit. Fuck trying to explain yourself. Fuck trying to make yourself look good. Live your life. Be you. Remain true to you in all that you do. And make sure that what you're doing is what's best for you and not for other people. And not to try to appease people and try to not step on other people's toes. And, oh my God, I don't want to trigger you, so I'm going to censor what I say and how I act and how I dress. Man, fuck all of that shit. That ass. Fuck it. I want you to be free as fuck. Okay? And also, when I think about the number 4, it makes me think about earth energy, like being grounded, being stable, having both feet on the ground. So if you've been up in your head a lot or up in the clouds, make sure that you come back down and you ground yourself. Okay, make sure that you are grounded within your body. Make sure that you feel safe and secure within your body, within yourself, and that you're not trying to escape by always being in the fucking clouds, right? You have to enjoy this human experience. Stop trying to escape it. Because you're fighting, you're putting in that resistance. Enjoy it. Make life work for you. And stop trying to fight against the current. Swim with it. And hell, if you don't like the way the current is going, then go to a place of stillness. And then learn how to redirect the current to work in your favor. Now, what else do I see when I feel the number 4? It just makes me think of stability. Okay, so stability, and I saw another card in this deck, and I believe it's the number 29, and it deals with stability and uncertainty. So that's what I just seen as I closed my eyes and thought about the number 4 and heard the word stability. So don't get so caught up on having something stable or being stable that you lose sight of uncertainty. There are times in our lives when we truly have to embrace uncertainty, embrace the unknown, and understand that we are not always going to know what happens next, right? Everything doesn't require a plan. Sometimes you literally just gotta go for it. And sometimes you're not gonna know how that shit's gonna play out and how it's gonna work out. You're not gonna know the how. And I'm here to tell you that you don't need to know the how, because the how is already handled, right? It's already handled. And when you get caught up on the how, it kills your livelihood, because it stops you from moving forward, because you need to know every single PowerPoint bullet, and sometimes that is not provided in the beginning. You literally figure it out as you go, and when you take those steps and you take that leap of faith, everything just kind of falls into place. As you show up for yourself, so does everything else, and those PowerPoint bullets are built as you walk the path. So sometimes you gotta say fuck stability and embrace uncertainty. Now, don't get this twisted though, right? Because you do want to be stable within yourself. You do want to have that secure foundation within yourself, that foundation of self-love, right? And I'm not sitting here trying to tell you to stay in something, especially a relationship that is unstable, or to have unstable emotions. Like, use discernment and awareness with what I just said, okay, and how I broke it down. Sometimes you literally have to say fuck stability, because stability can keep you caught up in your traumas. It can keep you caught up in your familiars and your safety nets. It can keep you caught up in your comfort zone, because you see it as being stable, and walking out into the unknown kind of creates this feeling of instability, okay? And that's when it becomes a hindrance. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you gotta be like, yo, fuck this safety net, fuck this security zone, this comfort zone. Fuck what I feel like is stable, because it's holding me back. And you gotta embrace uncertainty. So that card popped in my head as I looked down at the floor. Now, that's all I'm really hearing for this card, is to simply just, embrace your power and allow yourself to pretty much enjoy life, and like I said, rock your crown, rock your crown, rock your power, and allow for yourself to be that authoritative figure, to be that leader that you are. Allow yourself to be in that spotlight energy. This is your time to shine, but you gotta want to shine, and not be fearful of shining too bright, because you may hurt somebody else's eyes. They'll be the fuck alright. Shine your light. That is all I have for you, pile number 1. And we're gonna get ready to shift into the energy of pile 2. Y'all have a beautiful day, night, or evening, and much love and gratitude, and I hope that this resonated with you. And remember, everything may not have, that's okay. Take what did and leave the rest, as it is a collective message. Now, if you are wanting to have a personal reading with me, you may do so by clicking the website link that is attached to whichever platform you may be listening from, or you can reach me on Taste My Naked Truths on IG, or tastemynakedtruths@gmail.com, okay? And we can discuss whatever you may need and how I may be of assistance to you. So this is the end, Pile 1. Much love. Actually, Pile 1, I have something else to say. As I went back and listened to this, something came to mind. So when we get back into that father figure energy, for those of you whose father has transitioned, no matter when it was, I feel like y'all have been missing him a lot lately, or it's been on your mind, or you've just been, thinking about him here and there, talking to him, like, can you hear me? Yes, I'm here to tell you that he does hear you, and you are not alone, okay? And he's rooting you on, and he's proud of you. And those moments when you think that you feel him, that is him. He is there. He's by your side. He is watching over you, okay? And for somebody, I feel like sometimes you may hear a song that makes you think of him, or I don't know, I'm seeing like a certain kind of candy that he used to eat all the time that'll pop in your head every now and then. Or sometimes you'll feel like certain things may be moved around and you know you didn't do it, and you'll be like, Dad, was that you? Like, yeah, that was him. Or you may get chills, or see something at the corner of your eye. Maybe it's an orb or something of the sort, and he comes to mind. Spirits have many different ways in which they choose to reach out to us, or just let us know that they are there. And so he's there with you. He's there with you. So that was his way of letting you know that you are never alone. You will always be Daddy's little girl. Okay. And even if you didn't have that close relationship with your father before he transitioned, understand that that energy is not taken into what some consider the afterlife. Like, just because they may have been one way here on this earthly realm does not mean they are that same exact way once they transition. Okay, so understand that he could still see you or refer to you as Daddy's little girl, Daddy's baby. Okay, so he just wanted to say hi and make his presence known and reassure you that it is him that you have been feeling or seeing or hearing, and he hears you when you speak to him. Okay? And if you haven't done so, or maybe have been thinking about setting up an altar to honor him, do it. And remember to celebrate him. It's okay to grieve, but don't stay in that place of mourning for too long. Celebrate him. Celebrate his life. Celebrate his memories. Okay? And for some of you, you didn't get a chance to meet your children, or at least one of your children, or several of your children, whichever the situation may be, knows that he sees them now, and he's watching over them too. And so if your babies, no matter the age, you see them laughing or look like they're talking to somebody, or they're looking up what seems like they're staring into space, that's him interacting with them. Okay? That was beautiful imagery. So yeah, I just had to come back and say that because it wouldn't let me continue the Power 2 until I got that out. So somebody needed to hear it. Okay, this concludes Power for real this time. Much love, y'all. So if you chose Power 2, which was the Celestite crystal, this message is for you. So understand that this is a collective reading, and some of what I say may or may not resonate with you. Take what does and leave the rest. Do not try to force it into resonating with you or your life, because not everything may. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Also, the card deck that I am using was created by HealNReveal, which you can find him on Facebook, or you can reach out to me if you are interested in purchasing these cards, because he does sell them, and I will directly connect you to him. Okay? Now, before we get into the actual card that came up for you guys, I want to touch in on the crystal itself. So, Like I said, it's called Celestite, or it's also known as Celestine. Okay, so it gives off like these celestial, ethereal vibes. Ooh, I like it. It is a high frequency stone that opens the crown chakra to the divine energy, and it channels it down through the third eye into the throat chakra to be expressed. So basically, this crystal deals with your crown, your third eye, and your throat chakras. Okay, it is connected to the air element, and it vibrates to the 2 and the 8 energy, and it is connected to Gemini and Libra. Now again, when it comes to the astrological side of things and these certain zodiac signs that I'm mentioning, it does not mean that you have to be a Gemini or a Libra. That's just the energy that it resonates with, or that it is connected to, or may be beneficial for Geminis and Libra. But it does not mean that you cannot use this crystal because you are not a Gemini or a Libra. Okay? So don't let those two signs throw you off track, because if what I read about this crystal resonates with you, matter of fact, if you chose this pile, this crystal resonates with you. So there's some benefit that this crystal will offer you in your life, okay? And also, some of y'all don't like certain signs, so don't let that get you caught up either, okay? If you don't like Geminis, or you ain't feeling the Libras out here in these streets, listen, delete all that from your mind so that you can take in what I'm about to read to you about this particular crystal, okay? Now, it is a stone of peace and harmony. It assists with meditation. So if you struggle with meditating, this could be a crystal that you use to help you develop that as a practice for yourself. It helps with dream recall. Now, I know this is a huge thing for a lot of people, of being able to remember their dreams, okay? It helps relieve stress and nervousness. It helps with mental clarity and mindfulness. It helps ease anxiety. So it's kind of like popping a chill pill. It mellows you out. Okay, it's good for chakra cleansing and grounding. It helps with communication. It helps with your psychic abilities, channeling, clairvoyance, and clairaudience. It helps you sleep better. And it also assists in astral traveling. It helps you connect to those who have transitioned, as well as what people consider your spirit guides, or whatever name you have for them, the angels, whatever you call them. Okay, it's great for those of you who may have a spiritual business, and it also brings balance and alignment to your mind, your body, your spirit, your soul. Okay, so those are some of the benefits of this crystal. Of course, I did not list every single thing that it does. There are a bunch of different healing properties, metaphysical properties, emotional, spiritual properties that this crystal gets into. So do yourself a favor and research it a little bit further and see how else it can be of assistance to you. Now, if you don't know how to spell it, that is okay. I'm going to put the names of each and every one of these crystals in the description of the episode, okay? And so all you gotta do is look at it, and boom, you can research it. I encourage that you do that, just to find out a little bit more about it, and maybe why you were drawn to it, if you didn't hear me mention it and what I just read. Okay, now let's dive into this card. So this card is the Wheel of Fortune in traditional tarot. Okay, it's the Wheel of Fortune card. However, it kind of has a little spin to it. So it has Lilith on this card. It also has the number 10 on this card. And so the words that are on this card are abundance and overwhelm. And so this came up in the upright position, which would be under abundance. Okay? And I feel like I felt some of y'all perk up when I said that, the abundance, or I feel like y'all low-key celebrated. And for some, I do hear, what's that song? Money showers. So for some of you, this is an indication of the wheels turning you receiving a surplus of money, a windfall, a money showers. Your finances will begin to increase and shift, and bring you in, what you have been asking for or desiring. Your needs will begin to be met, and you will see things shift when it comes to the money side of things, okay? Now, I want to say this. Be mindful of the way in which you choose to turn the wheel, because this energy wants to come into your life. But if you are turning the wheel in the opposite direction, that means you are putting up a fight. That means you are adding that extra spice of resistance, which we don't need, okay? It's 5:55 as I'm recording this. But that means that there is some form of resistance. And so we don't want to fight against this energy. We want to welcome it in. We want to surrender to it. We want to be receptive to it. We want to flow with it. We want to be in alignment with the energy of money, of receiving, of abundance, prosperity, wealth, expansion. Be mindful also that you must see yourself as the motherfucking abundance, as the bag, as the money tree, okay? You must see yourself as that. You must know that you already possess the abundance within you. There is nothing that you lack. You are not in a place of lack when it comes to abundance. It is already within you. You just have to align with it. You just have to vibrate on the frequency of that which you are wanting to bring into your life, right? Attracting, not chasing. There is a difference. That which you chase, you will always be running after. So if you have the mindset of that you have to chase the bag, well, I'm here to inform you, your ass will always be running after the money bag. Why would you want to run after it? Allow it to flow to you. Be the magnet. But you don't even have to fucking move. It just comes to you. It flows into your life with ease, right? It's like making money while you sleep. Kind of energy. And so do a check of where you stand when it comes to money and the vibration that you have around money, your thoughts around money. Just double check that and see, where you stand with it, like I said. Now, this abundance energy is beautiful. And I also want to touch on, when I say abundance, it doesn't just have to be money. Abundance can be anything. It can be an abundance of unconditional love, an abundance of opportunities, an abundance of food. It can be an abundance of clients, abundance of traveling. It can be anything. So don't just attribute the word abundance to strictly meaning money, because then you limit yourself. And so be mindful that what you ask for, what you are wanting or desiring to manifest, to bring into fruition, that it may come differently. So let's just say you ask for $500 to get a laptop, and this particular laptop that you want. And let's just say somebody comes to you and be like, here's a laptop. Now, did it manifest in that $500? No. But it manifested the actual physical laptop. And even though it may not be the laptop that you wanted, there's possibly something about that laptop that you actually need and you didn't realize you needed. Okay? So be open to receiving that which you are attracting to you. Be open to receiving, because you never know the ways in which it will show up, and you don't want to suffocate or stifle that energy because you're so stuck on it showing up at a certain time, at a certain date, from a certain person, or in a certain way. Okay, so you want to be lenient, and you want to leave room for this energy of abundance to show up in the many different ways that it can and that it will. Okay, and embrace these money showers when it comes in. Don't be scared to spend or have that money circulate, because understand that which you put out comes right back to you. But you have to know that, and not be fearful when it comes to spending money, and not be a penny pincher, and not feel like, you never have enough. okay? Because that lack is going to be stronger than your vibration of attraction. And if that's the case, then that lack is going to take over, and it's going to repel or suffocate that attraction energy, okay? So, like I said, dive deep into that if you're having money issues or your money has been wishy-washy or it's been in and out of your life and you're just like, what the entire fuck? Tap into your inner vibration. What is your frequency? What is your money story? What have you been telling yourself about money? And is it truly how you feel or believe about money, or is it just the beliefs that you were taught and that you were shown to feel or think about money? Because in that case, you need to clear that whole shit out. You need to start a clean slate, and you need to develop your own money story and develop your own sense of feelings and vibration towards money. Money is an energy, okay? It is an energy. And if you see it as bad, why the fuck do you think it wants to come to you? You are already implementing that, oh, money is evil, money is bad. And then you wonder why you don't have an abundance of it. Look how you view it. What the fuck? And so you have to understand that it is the energy that you put into it. It is through your perspective of how you see money that is either going to attract it to you or repel it. So tap into those beliefs around money, what you've seen growing up, what you experienced, if you had to go through struggle, if you witnessed people live paycheck to paycheck or struggle to pay bills or whatever the case may be, you want to wipe that slate clean and start over fresh and welcome money into your life and develop a loving relationship to it. Okay? Tell money to bring its ass here so you can make love to it. For real though, y'all. So just be mindful of your feelings and energy when it comes to abundance, when it comes to receptivity, okay? Matter of fact, I want to touch on that right quick, because oftentimes we ask for things, but we are not in a place of allowing ourselves to receive them. And so it's like we're asking for them with closed hands, or we're asking for doors to be open, but yet we lock the door and throw away the key. Or we're asking for things to flow into our life, but we turn our back towards it and don't, realize that it's trying to come in, that it's knocking. And so I just want to say that what you are asking for is definitely yours, and you are more than deserving and worthy of it. But make sure you have the space for it to come into your life. Make sure you are in a place to where you are open to receiving. And make sure you have an open mind, like I said, of how it may come into your life. Because some of y'all will truly block what is trying to come in. And let's just say it may be coming from a stranger or a friend or whoever. And you have the mindset of, oh no, I can't accept your help. I don't want your charity. I'm not a charity case. Well, okay, you just blocked what you've been trying to manifest. Or, I don't know you. Why would you want to help me? That kind of energy. Or, okay, what's the catch? What do I have to pay you back? Why are you trying to help me? Like, you know what I mean? You block the shit because you have those thoughts and you don't even allow yourself to be helped because your pride is so strong and in the way, and your ego is stepping in, and your ego is actually detrimental in this particular situation because it's blocking you from receiving what you've been asking for. And so you want to be very mindful of that, okay? Very mindful. Pay attention. And so, right quick, I just want to touch back on that energy of help, like asking for help. If you are in a situation and you need help, ask for fucking help. Don't suffer in silence, because you never know who is actually willing to help you, okay? And I know for some people, y'all don't want to ask for help because you've been in situations to where you ask certain people and they held it over your head or they threw it back in your face, right? And it's just like, what the fuck, why did you help me if it was going to be all these strings attached, or if you was constantly going to be asking me when I'm a, return a favor or whatever the case may be, right? And so it kind of turned you off from asking anybody for help. Don't get caught up in that energy, okay? First of all, you need to reevaluate your circle too, if that's the case, because that kind of energy is I don't want to be judgmental, but if you have a circle of who you consider your friends or those closest to you, and you can't even reach out and ask for help without being like ridiculed or criticized in some way, or they got some ulterior motive to why they help you, you might want to reevaluate who you consider a friend or who's in your inner circle. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that anybody is obligated to help you, because they're not. That is their choice if they choose to do so. But it's all about the energy that comes from that. They could easily just tell you no and that be it. For whatever reason, they don't owe you an explanation. But when you have those people who kind of have, some trickery or some manipulation behind it, and they're going to help you with those kind of intentions, that's when shit kind of hits different. And so this is for someone who needs to really reevaluate their inner circle of who you're calling a friend or who you may consider family, okay? Now, when it comes to this Lilith energy, I automatically think about the story of Lilith, right? And so what I'm hearing is you don't have to choose between the lesser of two evils, right? So if you're in a situation or you're presented with choices and you don't like either one of them motherfucking choices, you don't have to subject yourself to suffering, okay? Make another fucking way. Find a different solution. You don't have to settle, okay? There is always another way. And don't feel like, oh, well, I need to just take this because this is as good as it gets. No, that's not true. Or don't put yourself in a place of enslavement, thinking that you are freeing yourself when you're really not. So what you don't want to do is play the role of the slave and the slave master. Okay? So that means not only are you enslaving yourself, so now you are the slave, but you are also playing the role of the slave master. So you are enslaving yourself. And it sounds like a mind fuck, but it's true. And so now it's like, well, how the fuck do I free myself? By no longer subjecting yourself to being a martyr, by no longer sacrificing yourself, by no longer making yourself into the slave, by no longer playing that role of the slave master. Let go of both of those archetypes. And don't subject yourself to that bullshit, okay? I had a friend that would always say to me, stop demonizing yourself, stop demonizing yourself. And that's coming to mind as I pull this card, right? So you don't have to demonize yourself. You don't have to make yourself into the bad guy to where you go and now you are punishing yourself because you feel like, well, this is what I deserve. And you subject yourself to fucking pure bullshit because, number one, you don't know your worth. Number two, you may be suffering from some sort of low self-esteem. Number three, you just feel like you're not, like I said, you don't feel like you're worthy of something better, and so you accept the bare minimum. That's pure bullshit, y'all. Okay? So don't do that to yourself. Catch yourself. Free yourself from the shackles. Free yourself from the inner prisons, from the inner mental prisons that you have set for yourself. Okay? Stop putting yourself in all these constraints. And I've seen like an image of somebody being in a straitjacket. Like, you don't even allow yourself to truly be you. And so it's like, now you're going crazy. There's an inner war inside of you because you're fighting with the true you to try to be some fake version of you to please society, to please your mother, your father, somebody in your family, to please the people at your job, to please society as a whole. And you're not allowing yourself to be real and authentic, and your inner everything is fucking cursing you out, and it's an inner war, it's inner conflict, and it's taking a toll on you, and it's like you shut that side down, and so it's like being in a straitjacket, and you suffocating, and your soul is literally just trying to break free from all of it. Okay, so free yourself. Also, I want to say the root chakra comes to mind. And now the root chakra actually does deal with that energy of money. It deals with being rooted and being grounded when you're within yourself, and it also deals with like your childhood, and it also deals with survival mode, things of that nature. And so when it comes to money and abundance, you want to make sure that you are not operating out of a place of survival mode, out of I just gotta survive, I just gotta get the bag, oh man, I gotta go hustle. Like, no, that's not the energy you want to be in. And don't get me wrong, that energy and those beliefs and those patterns probably came, they were clutch at a certain point in your life when you needed to operate out of that energy, out of that mode of survival. But you don't always have to live your life from that place. You got to get to a place to where you're able to rest in that energy of thriving and get out of fucking just surviving. Because being in survival mode doesn't allow you to embrace that energy of thriving. It just doesn't. You are always in a place of feeling like there's something that you lack, and there's always something that you gotta chase after, and you gotta slave out here in these streets, and you gotta work, and you gotta, do this and do that, and it's always from a place of doing and never from a place of simply just being. And you're operating so heavily in your masculine energy that you don't even allow yourself to rest. You don't even allow yourself to embrace your feminine energy and open up your hands to receive. You get what I'm saying? So you want to break free from survival mode and allow yourself to thrive and allow yourself to be in a place to receive, okay? And you want to make sure that when it comes to money, like I was saying, that it is your beliefs and not what has been embedded into you or what you have seen throughout your life when it comes to money in general, okay? What is your foundation like when it comes to allowing yourself to receive? What does that look like? Is there even a foundation there? Because for some of y'all, it's not. You have completely knocked over any form of a stepping stone to even allow somebody to step up to you and attempt to help you. Y'all got y'all shields up high. And I know I talked about this already, but it's coming back around. Some of y'all got these fucking shields that's blocking any form of assistance, blocking it the fuck out so hard, so heavy. Please put down your walls, please put down your shields and allow yourself to be receptive, okay? And like I said, there's gonna be a shift in some of y'all's finances, whoever's been in a place of feeling like they are struggling and it's just like, what the fuck, please. And you have been praying or saying affirmations or, just doing it in the work. Know that it has not been for nothing. And this is just a confirmation to what you've been doing, the difference and the change that you've been putting in, the work that you've been putting in is seen behind the scenes. And that which you are desiring is already yours and is making its way to you, but you also got to keep in mind divine timing, and so you can't rush that. And so what I'm hearing is patience, okay? Because you also have to be ready for that which you are wanting, because if it's given to you too early or before you are ready for it, you would end up fucking it up because you wasn't ready, you wasn't prepared, okay? What else am I seeing when it comes to this card? So when I think about the number 10, it makes me think about, I see it kind of from the perspective of the 1 and the 0, right? And so it's like, make sure that you have a sense of who you are, right? Knowing who the fuck you are, that sense of individuality, that goes back to the 1 of being that leader, of being in that spotlight energy, of embracing you, right? see the zero. The zero to me makes me think of, well, several different things. I think of source, I think of wholeness, I think of a circle, like a cycle. I think of basically breaking free, or sort of like a place of separating from the one, the all, if that makes sense, right? And so it's like this energy can go so many different ways. And so on one end of the spectrum, I want to say, make sure that you do know who you are outside of who everybody has tried to paint you as, right? So make sure you do have that sense of individuality, especially if you're in a friendship, a bond, a connection, a relationship, a marriage, whatever the case may be, that your identity is not wrapped up in that. And if that person was to walk away, or your relationship was to end, now everything has crumbled and you lost yourself and you don't know who you are without them or without that relationship. So make sure you know you, and make sure that your identity is not attached to somebody else or something else, okay? And then on the other spectrum, I also want to say that make sure you understand that you are a part of everything. Okay? You are nature. You are money. It is not separate from you. It exists within you. You just simply have to fucking embrace it. And for some of you, I am seeing the Wheel of Fortune, to where it's like when you spin the wheel, it keeps ending up on the same fucking answer because of the manipulation tactics that's behind it. And so you try so hard to manipulate the energy to end up where you want it to be, that you fuck shit up. And so it keeps repeating the cycle until you realize that you don't have to manipulate it. Just allow the energy to flow, right? Just work your magic, but understand that you don't have to manipulate the energy so fucking hard, okay? And when I say work your magic, I'm not talking about lighting candles and doing rituals. You are the candle. You are the motherfucking ritual. I'm talking about trusting in yourself and knowing that you can command something into your life, knowing the power of your tongue and your words, knowing the power of your thoughts, knowing the power of simply just resting in your energy, knowing the power of your vibration, and how you can simply just attract shit to you, and no manipulation is needed, right? Okay. And so that is what I get when I see the energy of 10. It also makes me think about source code, that 1 and the zeros, right? And then I hear 1010 win. I'm not even sure if that resonates with it. It makes me think of like a news channel. Or you know how back in the day they would say, like, the news would be like, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Some shit like that. So that's what comes to mind when I think about the number 10. And that may resonate with some of y'all, and for some of y'all it may not. Now, do you know where your children are kind of sticks out to me, because it makes me think about your inner child. And do you know the state of your inner child? Have you been attentive to that part of you, or have you been neglecting it? And have you been forcing yourself to relive the traumas instead of acknowledging it, healing it, and then choosing to let it go and put it down, and understand that you don't have to carry your trauma around forever, because it is not your identity. Yes, it happened to you, but you made it through it, and it's not something that you got to carry around forever. So are you allowing yourself to be painted by your traumas to where now you can't even live and enjoy life, and your inner child is forever throwing those tantrums, right? Okay. Also, what stands out to me in this is that on this card, Lilith is naked as fuck. This is one of my favorite cards. I love that she's naked. But it is a reminder to me to basically be authentically you, to be free, to shed everything that you have been taught, that you have seen, to question everything, to begin, like I said, discovering who you are and be comfortable in your own skin, be comfortable in your nakedness, be comfortable in walking in your truth and being comfortable in your authenticity, be comfortable being naked on all levels, because there's many ways to be naked, including soul deep. So be comfortable on all levels in your motherfucking nakedness. Embrace that part of you, embrace that side of you. Okay. Also, what stands out to me is so on this card there's like a sword going through an eye, right? And so it makes me think about your third eye and what you are seeing. What are you subjecting yourself to? What are you subscribing to, right? And are you basically placing yourself in an illusion? Are you honoring the illusion as your reality, and now your vision is distorted, right? And you can't even see because there is a fucking sword covering your third eye and obstructing your vision. And so now your vision is distorted. So what are you, like I said, subjecting yourself to? What is distorting your vision? Some of you need clarity. You're looking for clarity on certain subjects, one of them being your finances. But it's like your immediate surroundings and those within your circle and what you are seeing, what you've been experiencing have basically served as a mind fuck, and it's blurry and you can't fucking see, and it's so much fog and it's so much mist, and it's like, which way do I go? Who do I believe? What do I dive into? What do I do? Oh my God. And it's kind of like having so many stock options and you don't know which one to fucking choose, but you don't want to make a choice because you don't want to choose the wrong thing, because then you don't want to lose the money, right? And so it's like you don't want to take a risk. But every time you spin the wheel, you pretty much take a risk, in a sense, right? Or every time you spin the wheel, you put yourself back into a cycle. And so it's breaking free from the cycle altogether. Okay? Understand that what you see is not always as it seems. Earth is but a dream. Okay, let me not hit y'all with riddles. But seriously, that what you see is not always as it seems. Sometimes you will create scenarios within your mind that hasn't even happened, and then you're now living out of that energy. And so what happens? You end up literally creating that within your external world. So when it comes to your third eye, what illusions are you putting yourself in? What stories are you creating within your mind that hasn't even happened? What are you, like I said, what are you fucking subscribing to? It's time to cancel those subscriptions and them free trials too. Matter of fact, stop fucking signing yourself up for free trials, especially to shit that doesn't serve you. Why do you need to test the waters first? You can fucking look at something or someone or just get a taste of their energy by simple interaction, listening to your intuition and how your body responds or reacts to them, right? If you have that level of awareness and discernment up, right, your fucking radar will go off and be like, hell motherfucking no, we ain't doing that. But sometimes let me test the waters, let me see, I'm gonna give this the benefit of the doubt, knowing damn well it was a no from the beginning. And now what happens? You done spent the damn wheel and you back in the cycle. So the wheel of fortune, you gotta make it work for you. Gotta make it work for you. And like I said, I just heard the tides are turning. Okay? And so for me, like I said, that makes me think of change. The tides are turning. It's time for change, right? It's time for change to be implemented within your life. It's time for you to basically be the change that you want to see. It's time for you to take necessary action steps to create that change within your life. And stop looking for someone else to do it, or stop desiring for someone else to swoop in and play the role of, that savior, right? Now, what I want to say is this. Do not get that mixed up with you being able to ask for help, because that's different than you just sitting on your ass and expecting someone to come save you, like playing that archetype of the damsel in distress, right? That's different, because now you're just sitting there and like, oh, woe is me, pity, I need something to change, but you're not willing to make a change, or you're not willing to even find a solution for change. You're just wanting or hoping or wishing that something or someone is gonna automatically come in and, make everything all right for you, instead of seeing a way out on your own, or instead of seeing how you can possibly implement a solution to whatever it is that you may be experiencing. And so don't get those two caught up. Like I said, it is okay to ask for help, but what you don't want to do is sit there and go into a place of you need help, but instead of you asking for it, right, you just sit there and you wallow, and you expect people to automatically help you, and then you get mad if they don't, like they supposed to be able to read your mind or some shit, right? So there's a fine line between the two, which energy you choose to operate out of, okay? So keep that in mind. And I gotta touch on the other word on this card, which is overwhelm. For some of you, y'all are motherfucking overwhelmed when it comes to abundance, finances, the whole nine. Y'all are at a place of overwhelm. Y'all are at a place of fucking being stressed out, and you just really don't know what the fuck to do at this point. And it's like you're constantly looking for answers. And I want to say, take a moment to just stop and to breathe right now. Pause this shit. Take a moment to breathe, to recenter yourself, okay? Because operating out of that energy of frustration, out of desperation, out of impatience, out of urgency, out of, it's like, oh, I need it now. When is it coming? Oh my God. Like, that is a repellent. You are not attracting anything to you with that. You're going to push that shit the fuck away, okay? You definitely are not going to manifest that which you truly desire from a place of desperation or urgency or frustration or anger or any of that. You are going to manifest or attract to you the exact opposite of what you're trying to bring into you, okay? So keep that in mind and allow yourself to just breathe and recenter and refocus your energy, shift your main focus, and basically shift your vibration, because that's what it's all about, okay? And understand that you may not know the full outcome of your money situation, but that's okay. You gotta know that you are going to be good regardless. And sometimes that's easier said than done, but you gotta know that you are always divinely guided and supplied, okay? There's an infinite supply of abundance, and that is the energy that you gotta operate out of, instead of succumbing to that of lack or scarcity or poverty mindset, okay? You are the motherfucking abundance. Like I said in the beginning, you are the bag, and you are the money tree as well. But you have to water yourself. You have to water that money tree, water your seeds, so that that money can begin to flow into you, okay? Allow yourself to bloom. Allow your tree to bloom. And so before I close out this episode, I just want to say that you can also have an abundance of shit that is not good for you, okay? So just because this card came up in the upright position don't mean that you in the clear for some of y'all, Okay, you want to take a look at your life and see what you may be overindulging in. Okay, that is not for your highest good. That is no longer serving you, that you are attached to. That is another motherfucking cycle. That is another lesson that you still haven't learned. There is an abundance of bullshit. There is an abundance of toxicity. There is an abundance of patterns or beliefs that are no longer serving you. What is an abundance that is also some shit that you need to get rid of? Okay, that's the other side of the spectrum to this card. So take what resonates with you and leave behind the rest. But I just wanted to point that out, because people automatically say abundance, and it's like, ooh, okay, but yeah, the other side of this word abundance. What is also an abundance that you need to clear out from your fucking life as well, because it may be creating or causing blockages within your realm of money, within that frequency and that vibration, because you're holding on to shit that needs to go, and it has a build-up and accumulation, and now it is an abundance of this energy that is blocking, as being a cock blocker. No, but seriously, guys, so think about it from that perspective too, okay? And free yourself from that place of overwhelm, okay? And allow your energy to flow freely. And I gotta say this one more time before I close out. Stop demonizing yourself. Okay, so damn, I thought I was done, but apparently not. So the devil is not out to get you. You are your own motherfucking devil. And the sooner that you embrace that, you will see the way in which you have put yourself in certain situations and are keeping yourself in these situations, and how you are playing the devil in your own life. And a lot of people be like, oh, well, something is out to get me, or this person is out to get me. You are out to get your own motherfucking self, and you don't even realize that. So how are you playing the role of the devil in your own life? How are you playing that role in your own life? How are you fucking shit up for your own self? How are you creating these blockages for your own self? How are you causing this chaos for your own self? How? Think about that. What is the same shit that you keep doing over and over and over and over again? Right? What is something that you need to do that you haven't done? And so being that you haven't done it, you're still in the same motherfucking spot that you was in 5, 4, 3, 10, 8 years ago. And no change has been made because you didn't do anything to make a change. How are you playing the role of the devil in your own life? How are you being your own abuser? And how are you pointing the blame at somebody else, not realizing that it's you? It's all you. Okay, y'all, I'm done with this Lilith energy for real. So remember, this is a collective reading. So what I said may or may not resonate with you. Take what did and leave behind the rest. And if you find yourself wanting a personal reading with me, one of the ways that you can reach out to me is through the website link that I have posted. You should be able to see it no matter what platform you are listening from. It will take you to my link tree, and it will show you each and every service that I offer. Or you can simply reach out to me through IG or through tastemynakedtruths@gmail.com. And my IG is also tastemynakedtruths, okay? And reach out to me and we can discuss further the ways in which I may assist you, okay? Thank you for tuning in. I love y'all. Much gratitude. Peace. So, if you chose pile 3, which was Larimar, this message is for you. Now, before I dive deep into the message, I am going to touch a little bit on the benefits of the crystal itself and why you may have been drawn to it. First and foremost, I want to say that this is a collective reading, and it may or may not resonate with you. Take what does and leave the rest. Do not try to force anything I say to fit or resonate with you or your life. Okay? Also, these cards that I am using were created by HealNReveal, which you can find on Facebook. The name of the card deck is the Higher Perspective Oracle. If you are interested in buying these cards, because he does sell them, you can reach out to him. Again, his name is HealNReveal, or you may contact me and I will connect you directly. Now, let's get into this beautiful crystal, Larimar. Y'all, this is one of my favorite crystals. Oh my God, it is so beautiful. I've always been drawn to this crystal. I call Larimar Bay. It reminds me of the beach, and the beach is home. So I hold this crystal near and dear to my heart. Now, it is also known as the Atlantis stone and the dolphin stone, right? So Larimar represents serenity, clarity, and it emits like this healing, loving, nurturing energy. It embodies the energy of water and brings the vibration and tranquility of the ocean or the sea to the space or the person that is holding it, okay? It is connected to the air and water elements, connected to Leo and Pisces. Now, as I said in the previous two readings, don't get caught up on the astrological side of things. No, you don't have to be a Leo or Pisces in order to embrace this energy from this crystal, or in order to purchase this crystal and have it as your own. Nor does it mean that you have to like either of these signs, because some of y'all get so caught up on the zodiac shit. It's like, ooh, I don't like Leo or Pisces, and you look like just zone out. So come back to me. It's okay if you don't fuck with either of those signs. That don't have anything to do with this beautiful energy that you're about to receive from this reading. Okay, so disconnect from that and let's recenter. I have to fuck with y'all with that, because it gets real for some of y'all. And it also vibrates to the 6 and the 9 energy, as well as the 55. I thought that was interesting. It is connected with your heart, third eye, throat, and a crown chakras. Now, if you've listened to all three of these, or at least two of them, you will see that every crystal chosen connected to the heart, the third eye, the throat, and the crown. I thought that was dope, because that's a reoccurring, healing aspect that is focused on those 4 chakras. So that's pretty dope. Larimar helps ease stress. It helps you relax. It aids in peace and clarity. It helps to soothe anxiety and worry. It helps with emotional release. So it helps you to get rid of those emotions that may be trapped inside of you. And it also soothes your emotional body. It helps you reconnect to playfulness and that childlike energy, which I love. It helps with communication. That has also been a reoccurring theme that I have noticed. Each and every one of these stones help with communication, right? It helps with insomnia or anxiety in some sort, and just that peace and serenity, and I love that. So moving on, it helps you sleep and helps you relieve insomnia. It helps you cultivate a sense of courage. It promotes that self-confidence and assists you in speaking your motherfucking truth. It helps dissolve self-sabotaging behavior and removing those self-imposed blockages. It helps you to cultivate inner peace and aids in meditation. That has also been something I realized that is a reoccurring theme. Meditation. That has been coming up in all three of these. It also helps bring in harmony and balances the yin and yang energy. The yin and yang energy being the masculine and feminine energy inside of you. We all, regardless of gender, have masculine and feminine energy that resides within us, okay? It helps clear your meridian channels. It is known as a cooling stone, so it can help bring down a fever. It can soothe sunburn. It can help ease hot flashes and draw out inflammation, as well as help with your thyroid function. It aids in you letting go of what no longer serves you. It helps you connect to your feminine energy. And it is a stone for mothers. So those who may be expecting, or those who already had their baby and are now in the phase of like that postpartum phase, okay? So those were some of the beautiful benefits of the stone Larimar. Now, what I would encourage you to do is, some more research on how the stone may be of assistance to you, because of course I didn't, relate every single little thing that it does, and it does a lot. So look further into it if you choose, and see how it can possibly be beneficial to you in your life or someone that you know. Okay, now let's dive into this beautiful card. Okay, so for this one, it is the Queen of Air. It has the words mindfulness and selfishness on it, and it also has the number 34. So the imagery on this card has an angel sitting on a cloud looking down at a goddess. Okay? So what I want to get into with this, automatically, the mindfulness stands out to me. And what I hear is your mind full of mess? And so when you think about mindfulness, right, it is pointing you in a direction of being aware of what your mind is full of. Is, like I said, is your mind full of mess? Or is your mind full of that which is beneficial to you? And so this goes back to your thoughts. What are you thinking? What is occupying that space in your head? What are you allowing to take up space within your mind? What are you allowing to rent that space in your mind without even paying you, right? And so I also see, don't be so lost in your mind and in your thoughts that you're kind of like airheaded. And it's like you're not even present in this moment. You're not even aware of what is going on around you because you're so lost in your fucking head. And you're so stuck on the past or the future that you miss out on the gift of the now, on the gift of the present. And realizing that life is a moment, right? It is living in the moment, embracing the moment, embracing everything that creates this one moment. The now is the future. The past already happened and it doesn't exist anymore. The now is what exists. And it simultaneously creates your future. Sometimes we get so caught up on the future that, like I said, we miss out on the now. And being that we are not present in the now, it fucks up our future because we are not consciously making those decisions. We are so stuck and like, okay, well, I got to plan for my future and I got to make sure, oh, this is right. But now we are causing life to literally pass us by. And then when you make it to your future, you realize that you didn't even fucking live because you were so focused on creating a future that you didn't allow yourself to truly enjoy life right here, right now, and this moment. And so what I also hear is to be happy now. Stop putting happiness as like a destination of like, well, when I make this much money, I'll be happy. When I move into this house, I'll be happy. When I get this job, I'll be happy. When I finally meet my soulmate, I'll be happy. When I finally get that raise, I'll be happy. When my kids know how to act, I'll be happy. When I lose these 15 pounds, then I'll be happy. It's like you have to do something in order to be happy. Happiness starts within. Happiness is also a choice. Nothing has to occur for you to be happy. It is simply a vibration, a frequency, an energy that you can choose to embody the moment that you open your motherfucking eyes every morning that you wake and you rise, right? And so stop limiting your happiness to a destination or a goal. You can choose to be happy right here, right now, in this moment, with who you are, with how you look, with your current money, because there is always something to be grateful for. No matter your circumstances, no matter your surroundings, no matter what you're going through, there is always something to find gratitude in. Right? So embody that energy of happiness and understand it starts with you, and that nobody else is responsible for your happiness or your emotions or how you feel or your insecurities or your traumas. It is nobody else's responsibility to provide you with happiness or to coddle you or to fucking enable you. There's no one's responsibility for that. So stop looking for other people to make you happy. Stop looking for other people to care about how you feel. Stop looking for other people to respect your feelings or validate them. Because there's going to be some people who give no fucks about how you feel, about your happiness. And if you let that rock you, if you let that knock you off of your throne, if you let that make your crown crooked, if you let that disturb your inner peace, then there's no one to blame but you, because you placed your happiness in the hands of somebody else when it was never their responsibility. So just know that your happiness lies within your hands, and don't ever give it away to anybody else, and don't ever give anybody that role to play, because at any given moment that they choose to walk away or they don't do something that you desire, now they're snatching away your happiness and you have no claim over it anymore, right? And now you sad, or now you hurt, you angry, you mad, whatever the case may be, and now you want to search out here looking for your happiness when it starts within you. You're not gonna find it in anybody else. And don't get me wrong, people can add to your happiness, of course, and that is the goal, to be happy already and then align with those that add to your happiness. It's like that energy of reciprocity. They pour into you, you pour into them. They are adding, but they are not taking away, right? So don't give anybody that responsibility of your happiness, and stop putting that as an expectation for people. Some of y'all really need to hear this, because you're like, oh, well, you're supposed to make me happy. You're my man. You're my husband. You're my sneaky link, whatever the case may be. You're supposed to make me happy. No, they're not supposed to do shit. Nobody is not supposed to do anything. Nobody doesn't owe you anything. Understand that. And nobody is supposed to create that happiness within you but yourself. So stop, like I said, stop putting that in other people's hands and then getting mad when they drop the ball, because they don't owe you shit. They don't owe you your own happiness. Your happiness lies within you, and until you make the decision to be happy, you won't be. And there's nothing that anyone can do to give you that happiness. They may be able to give you a sprinkle of it, may be able to give you a false sense of happiness temporarily, but then you will always be dependent on them to make you happy. And then so now it's a codependent relationship, friendship, connection. And like I said, they will have the upper hand. They will have that power over you, because every time they make a different move outside of what you expected or outside of what you wanted, now you ain't happy because of them, so you say, right? So don't ever give anybody that much power over you or your life. I just want to say that this goes both ways. So if the tables are turned and somebody is expecting this from you, right? Know that you don't have to live up to those expectations, and know that it is not your responsibility to make or keep them happy, or coddle them, or enable them, or to, basically console their insecurities. Fuck all that shit. You don't owe anybody shit. So I just had to make that known, because sometimes it can be reversed and people are expecting this from you and you don't owe them that. right? And if somebody is depending on you to make them happy, that is a motherfucking red flag. You are creating a codependent relationship, friendship, possibly even a trauma bond, okay? So give them back that shit. Give them back that title. Like, no, I don't want to play this role. I am not going to play this role. I am not responsible for your motherfucking happiness, and you are not going to hold me up to that expectation. And then the fact that you still choose to hold me up to that expectation, you are going to be motherfucking disappointed every single time, because it is not my responsibility to make you happy, and I refuse. Now, I don't mind adding to your happiness. We can have that reciprocal relationship, and we can add to each other and pour into each other. I'm here for that. But listen, you're not about to make me in charge of your happiness, because that is an inside journey. That is an inside responsibility. And it is up to you to do that for yourself. Okay? So if the shoe was on the other foot, this is for y'all too. Because like I said, these interpretations can go multiple ways. I just speak what I hear. And so I want to tap into the aspect of self-love, because she is embraced by a bunch of pink clouds, and it makes me think of self-love, unconditional love, and compassion for self, right? And so that is an aspect that a lot of people are missing. That love for self, that compassion and unconditional love for self. So be mindful, mindfulness. Be mindful that you have to establish a foundation for self-love. It starts within you, just as your happiness do. And so if you are lacking this self-love, this foundation of self-love, you will look for it in everything and everyone else. You will be on a search for a love, and you will go from person to person looking to see who can fill that void, but only you can fill that void, okay? And so for some of you, this may be the need to focus more solely on yourself and focus on developing that foundation of self-love, because in some of you it is lacking and it needs to be cultivated. You need more love for yourself, okay? And for some of you, you haven't even begun to develop that love for self. It is completely lacking. And for others of you, like I said, y'all have begun the building process. And I hear the word distraction. So on your process of developing this love for self, make sure that those people that are trying to come in and distract you from yourself do not actually complete their mission of being a distraction, okay? They're kind of like Agent Smith in the Matrix movies. Don't allow them to interfere or hinder the love that you are cultivating for yourself. And if they do try to get in the way, kick them the fuck out. You know, you have that choice of who you allow to get close to you and who you allow into your personal space. Self-love is so important, and I'm very passionate about it. And it is something that we all need to embrace and develop and have a secure and stable foundation within ourselves, because it just it changes your life, man. It really does. It keeps you out of a lot of bullshit, right? And it's just a heightened sense of wellness. Wow, I was gonna say awareness, but okay, heightened sense of wellness, I like that too. But it is a sense of awareness, right? And you just literally don't allow certain shit to fly in your life anymore. You don't subject yourself to certain things anymore. You don't allow certain energies or people in your space anymore, because that love for self must come first. And you put that love for self above or all else. And you don't allow anyone else to fucking disrespect that love you have for yourself, and you don't allow yourself to disrespect the love you have for yourself either. So this foundation of self-love is truly, truly important, and so is compassion. having that sense of compassion for yourself, having that sense of unconditional love for yourself, loving yourself no matter what you have been through, no matter what you have done, no matter where you may be right now in this moment, and it's not where you necessarily want to be, right? No matter what you look like, even in this moment, if you can't see the true beauty that lies within you and on the outside of you, still love yourself, right? And so what I find interesting right now is that it's 7:34, and I had to take a quick pause because the number on this card is a 34, which adds to a 7, which I was going to touch on, and it's 7:34. So I just wanted to point that out. That was interesting. It caught my eye as I looked up at the time, but which is also 77 energy. Okay, let me get back to the card though. I have an affinity for numbers, but yes, so cultivate that love for self. And for those of you that have began to do this, keep going. You will get to that place to where you are unapologetically you are unfuckwittable, you are unbothered by other people, and they can't come in and pull that bullshit with you that they used to do. So for those of you that have reached this point, congratulations. Keep building, keep going, keep growing, keep elevating. For those of you that may be struggling, that's okay. Patience, grasshopper. Have patience and compassion for yourself. You will get there. You will build. I don't see it as an overnight process, but it also isn't a 10-year process either. You know, I do feel like self-love is something that is forever growing for yourself. But what I'm saying is that it doesn't take 10 years to get started, because it simply starts with the choice of developing that love for self. And it's okay to understand that you may not know how to love yourself. That's how it all begins, because it takes you into a place of going within and realizing the ways in which you disrespect yourself, realizing the ways in which you subject yourself to shit that is no longer good for you, realize the ways in which you hold on to bullshit, realize the ways in which you keep yourself in cycles, realize the ways in which you are harming your own self, burning yourself by your own motherfucking fires. Realize the ways in which you have been your own abuser. Realize the ways in which you have created the chaos that you are surrounded by. And so it begins to open your eyes. And then when you come into the realization and that awareness, then you begin to shift, and you no longer do those things to yourself, or subject yourself to that, or to those people, or that kind of energy. And that builds your self-love. And then once you get into that vibration, it grows stronger, right? And you begin to have this force field, and you begin to raise and elevate your vibration. And certain things won't even come into your field of awareness anymore, because you have elevated. And so it automatically dismisses it from you experiencing or seeing it anymore, because you no longer resonate with that energy, right? And so I love the pink clouds that are not only surrounding her, but it's also on the attire that she is wearing. And so it's just also love your body, love the skin that you're in, be comfortable with you on every level, on every aspect, and every fiber of your being. And I also love that what she's wearing is blue, because it makes me think about standing in your truth, speaking your truth, right? Showing love to your throat chakra, removing any blockages that may be there, which Larimar helps with. So it's the perfect crystal for that, right? And so it's about understanding that you have a voice and your voice matters, and to speak from a place of love, and all that you do come from a place of love, right? And understanding the power behind your words, the power behind your message, because we all have a story to tell, we all have a message, and somebody needs to hear what you have to say. So allow yourself to speak up, allow yourself to express your truth, to express your story from a healed place and not from your hurt place, because there's a huge difference in those two. Okay, so show yourself some love and respect your truth and speak them. with no fucks given, and no fear, and no shame, and no guilt. And you no longer have to walk on eggshells. You could be free. Free your voice, right? For some of you, you may felt like your voice didn't matter in the past, or you may have been led to feel that way as a child, like what you say didn't matter, and you held no place, as opposed to the authority figure that was in your life, right? And so your voice was silenced, or it was suppressed, or it was just made to seem really little, right? No, you have a say, and your voice matters, and I'm here to tell you that in this moment, and it is time for you to speak up and allow your voice to be heard, and allow your presence to be felt, and allow yourself to be seen. Stop hiding behind the scene. Stop hiding behind the curtain, and get yourself on the motherfucking stage and shine bright like a diamond. The song started playing in my head. So also, what I am feeling from this card is just a sense of peace. She is at a place of peace. That's just what I feel. At a place of stillness within herself. And it also gives me the vibes of knowing that you are never truly alone on this journey. This spiritual journey, you may feel lonely. You may go through that process because, like I said, as you begin to elevate, people will begin to fall off and everything changes. And it's like, well, damn, now nobody even understands me anymore. And it's okay to be misunderstood. But understand that as you lose, which is not really a loss, but as those people begin to fall off, you will also begin to align with those people that are meant to be in your life now. And so you're never truly alone, ever. Right? And just like I said, there's an angel in this picture. So understand that spirit is always there. Source is always there. Nature is always there. Right? That energy is always there. Your ancestors are always there. You know, whatever you believe in, you are never alone, ever. So keep that in mind and allow yourself to embrace your inner peace and not be bothered by anything else. And like I said, don't allow those distractions to pull you away from your inner peace. Don't give away your power and your energy where it is not deserved at all. Okay. And so I think about the word selfishness because it is the word on the bottom of the card, right? And I feel like this can go multiple ways too, but the way that is really popping out to me is understand that being selfish doesn't have to be seen from a bad light, right? And so when we think about somebody calling you selfish, you think about it in a negative connotation. But in reality, sometimes you truly have to be selfish, especially when it comes to self-love, because now you're putting yourself first. And a lot of people will see that as selfish, and a lot of people will call you selfish because you're no longer catering to them and their needs. You're no longer putting their needs above your own or their wants above your own. You're no longer bending over backwards for them because you are putting you first, and you are learning to say no and leave that as a complete sentence. And you are no longer kissing ass. You have let go of the habit of people pleasing. And so, yeah, of course, people are going to see you as selfish because now they can no longer pull on you or siphon your energy or see the ways in which you can benefit them. They no longer have access. And so, yeah, their feathers are ruffled and they mad as fuck. Because you have revoked their access, right? You have revoked it. And so, yeah, they will call you selfish in a New York minute. And on some aspect, you may be, but not from the angle in which they are trying to dangle over your head from that place of guilt or manipulation. You are selfish in a sense to where you realize your worth and you realize what you deserve, and you realize that being in your energy is a privilege, and you realize that they don't fucking belong there and they don't deserve access to you. And so you pull all your shit back And you realize that you come first, and you realize that the relationship with yourself is the most important relationship there is, and that you will have. And that's where self-love comes in. And you no longer have that guilt. You have that sense of gratitude for yourself and for the self-love that you have cultivated, because now you can live life freely and enjoy life, and your wellness and your awareness and your discernment is working for you, right? And so don't allow those people that like, oh, well, you're selfish. Okay, in your opinion, I'm selfish. But my selfishness has helped me in my elevation. My selfishness has freed me. My selfishness is keeping me out of suffering. Because a lot of the times we are so focused on being a model citizen or a good civilian, or, trying to live up to somebody else's image of what a good person is or how we should be. And now it's like, oh man, I'm not living up to that, and I'm not allowing myself to be that person. I'm being who I am and who I know I am, and not who they thought I was. And now the whole game changed and everything shifted, and now I'm selfish. Well, fuck you and your opinion of me, because it don't matter. For real though, y'all, for real. It is okay to be selfish in certain aspects. I feel that you gotta be selfish. You gotta do what's best for you, and you gotta be able to know that you gotta be first. You gotta be number one. And it's time for some of y'all to really stop putting yourselves last, right? I often ask people, what are you grateful for? And a lot of people don't even say themselves first, right? They end up at the damn bottom of the list, and it's like, well, damn, you didn't even think about yourself until the last minute. And that is like the usual pattern, right? Putting ourselves last. Like I said, it's time to put you first. Time to do for you. And for others of you, I'm feeling meditation vibes. Or if you're not really feeling meditation, then I'm feeling something that is soothing or comforting to you. That is more on the natural side of the game. So being out in nature, or just making that quiet time for yourself, taking that time, that me time for yourself. Some of y'all truly need that space to be by yourself, to be in your loner energy. And now I'm going to dive into the 7 energy, because when you get into the 34, 3 plus 4 equals 7. 7 deals with the loner energy, which is not a bad thing, because it is in solitude where we come back and connect to ourselves. It is in solitude where we begin to realize all those things that I mentioned earlier of how we may be fucking ourselves over, right? It is in solitude that we have those realizations and those epiphanies and those light bulb moments, because there's nobody else's energy interfering with us. It is just us and ourselves. We are connected to our breath, and we are reflecting, and we are in a state of mindfulness and clarity, and we can receive that insight, right? And we can also receive those messages from the divine. Okay, so embrace your lonerness, embrace your solitude, okay, and carve out that time just for you. And don't be skimpy with the time. Don't just be giving yourself 5 minutes. No, take time out for you, to enjoy you, to sit with you, to sit with your shit, so you can unpack it and let it go, so you're not constantly carrying around luggage. Let that shit go. And so dive into your darkness, dive into your solitude, dive into your lonerness, right? Embrace it, okay? And don't let people make you feel guilty because you choose to be by yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't always have to be surrounded by people. Matter of fact, if you are able to be alone with yourself, that is fucking beautiful. Some people can't even sit in a room by themselves, let alone sit in the room darkness. They gotta have a TV on or some kind of distraction or some kind of white noise in the background, because they don't even want to hear their own thoughts. They fear their own thoughts. They run from their own thoughts. And so if you're at a place to where you can sit alone in your darkness with yourself, embrace that shit. And don't let nobody make you feel guilty for it because you choose to be alone or embrace your solitude, right? And now, if you were one of them people that I just talked about that are unable to embrace their aloneness and able to embrace their darkness, able to sit with themselves, able to sit with their thoughts, able to sit in a place of stillness and be still and not have to fidget and not have to have some kind of noise in the background as a form of distraction, I want you to dive a little bit deeper into why. Why can't you be alone with your thoughts? Why can't you be alone with yourself? What are you fearing? What is stopping you from doing that? What are you scared of that might come to surface? Why don't you want to deal with your own shit? Why don't you want to deal with you? Why don't you want to face yourself? Because you are going to be presented with you, all the forms of you, everything that you have hidden inside of you, that you have shoved down so deeply. And it's time for you to truly face that so that it no longer has power over you, so that you can finally get rid of it and elevate and become the healed version of you that you deserve and begin to be able to enjoy the fuck out of a life. Okay? So just something to provoke your thoughts and get you thinking, right? It's never any judgment. I say certain things on purpose. Sometimes it is meant for me to trigger people because it not only plants a seed, but it also gets them asking that question. And when you can ask that question, it gets your mind going, and it can potentially lead to you shifting and elevating and growing if that's what you choose to do with it. Right? Choice is yours. So I just want you to ask yourself those questions if that's something that you struggle with. So going back into the 7th energy, I just want to say elevation requires separation. You may have heard that before, and it truly does. You really do have to separate yourself from certain people, from certain things, from what you were dabbling in that no longer is in alignment for where you're going, right? And so you have to detach from those things and no longer vibrate on that same frequency as them. And when I think about the 3 and the 4, so automatically 3 makes me think of creative vibes, or like the Holy Trinity vibe. So mother, father, child kind of energy, right? And so mind, body, soul kind of energy. And so when I think of this in the form of the 3, it just makes me think about you being aware of all aspects of you and embracing every part of you, mind, body, soul. It makes me think of you embracing those aspects of you that you may not have received as a child, right? So not only are you embracing your inner child and healing that aspect of you, but you are also realizing that, okay, well, it may have been things that I didn't receive as a child from my mother or my father, and I'm going to now give that to myself instead of expecting them at whatever age you are to now still give you that, which they probably won't. And it has to be at a place where you realize that you have to stop expecting it and give it to yourself, because you're not going to receive it from them, and you may never receive it, and you may never receive the closure or the apology or whatever it is that you are looking for from these individuals, right? And so that's the energy that I get when I think about the mother, father, and the child. In this aspect, that is what is coming to me, as well as mind, body, and soul, embracing every single aspect of yourself and understanding that there are going to be times, right, that you are not going to receive from people that which you are desiring, or you're not going to receive you from people, right? Understand that. And you have to accept that and be okay with that, because everybody isn't you. So how can you expect you from somebody else? They're going to be them. And when a person show you who they are, accept it. And then you move accordingly, or you don't move at all. right? But understand that just because you have a big heart doesn't mean the next person is going to have one too. So stop expecting you from other people, including your parents. Stop expecting them to be whatever your version or your definition of what a parent, a mother, a father is. Stop expecting that, because they're not going to live up to it. At the end of the day, they're human outside of that label. And so if you're constantly trying to hold them up on this pedestal to the title or label of mother and father, you're going to continuously be disappointed, right? And this is not to justify any kind of shitty behavior that they may have exhibited towards you. No, I'm not justifying it. What I'm saying is, in order to free yourself, you have to understand that the longer you hold on to those expectations, the longer you crave for a sense of closure, the longer you crave for an apology, you are doing yourself a disservice, and you are holding yourself in a cycle. You are holding yourself in a trauma. You are subjecting yourself to continue to be disappointed, and is basically you are fucking yourself over, right? So I'm just throwing that out there. Some of y'all might not take too nicely to what I just said, but it is what it is. I'm not here to coddle your feelings, you know. I'm speaking what I hear, and I'm gonna say what I have to say, regardless of who feelings might be hurt in the process, because you will be the fuck all right, and it's all from a place of love, I promise. And also, that 3 energy, I just heard me, myself, and I, which basically goes back to everything I just said. Make it about you. Make it about putting yourself first. Now, I'm getting to throw out a warning there, to where you're not walking around feeling like the world owes you, because nobody owes you shit, number one. Or to where you're walking around feeling entitled, or where you're walking around feeling like it's my way or the highway. You set yourself up for failure when you do that, okay? So I'm not saying to embody any of those energies, because that sense of entitlement will have you fucked up out here in these streets, as well as that sense of, well, if you don't do my things my way, then I can't fuck with you, right? Because there are many ways to get something done, and that can be a blockage within your life, and especially in your relationships, platonic or romantic, if you have that thought process, right? It could be a form of self-sabotage. And so when I say me, myself, and I want you to understand it from a perspective of be your own cheerleader, be your own biggest supporter, be your own number one fan, be that person that you go to for your validation, be that person that supplies you with your happiness, be that parent that you always needed that you never had, be your own guru. Me, myself, and I. It starts with you. And so give it to yourself first, okay? And so that is the energy that I am picking up from the 3. And when I think about the 4, it just always gives me like stability and grounding energy, and having a stable foundation, really. And so what I just broke down with the 3, when you go into that 4 energy, it's like, okay, well, what is your inner foundation like when it comes to everything that I just mentioned? What is that me, myself, and I? What does that look like? Is it on stable ground? Do you have stable footing? Or is that shit built in quicksand and you about to fucking suffocate or drown? Or is it all about to come tumbling down? Hey, that rhymes. But yeah, and so that's what I think about. But be mindful of what I said about stability too. And at this point, I can't remember. I think it was in the last reading, pile number 2. But don't get caught up on stability to the point to where you lose sight of uncertainty, is what I was saying about stability. But when it comes to the inner stability that is necessary to where your foundation is stable and not built upon quicksand or built upon some fucking unsturdy rock shit that can just tumble the fuck over. You know what I mean? Okay, so that's the energy I got from the numbers. For this card, I believe I'm done. I'm not feeling anything else from the energy when I look at it, and I don't feel anything else coming from spirit. So, okay. A song played right quick. All you need is love. Love is all you need. Okay, yeah. So I am done. This concludes the reading for pile 3. Remember, it is a collective reading, so what I said may not have resonated. Some of it may have, some of it may not have. It's okay. Don't force it to fit with your life. Take what resonates and leave the rest alone. Also, if you are interested in receiving a one-on-one session with me, feel free to reach out to either my IG, Taste My Naked Truth, or email me at tastemynakedtruth@gmail.com. Or you can simply click the link that is attached to whatever platform you're listening to, and it will lead you to my link tree, and it has all my services, readings, and healings that I offer, as well as other things. Right? And so you can see how I can be of assistance to you. As always, I appreciate you for tuning in, for kicking it with me, for vibing with me, okay? And I appreciate the support. So much gratitude, much love. If you listen to all 3 of these, I do hope you did receive what you needed. And even if you only listen to this one, may you still have received what you needed. As always, I love y'all. Peace.